Hello, some bedtime thoughts for you on Harry Potter, the character himself. Harry Potter is a character who I know most dearly. I have been listening to the Harry Potter tapes pretty much every night for the last 20 years or so. I've gotten to know the lad very well. And I think he's actually a little bit more interesting and fucked up than people first think. When reading the books initially, you might be forgiven for thinking that, Harry Potter is this relentlessly boring hero. He's just a sort of goody two-shoes, classic Gryffindor. Yeah, I'm just going to be boring and whatever. But actually, I think he's a bit more interesting than that. Harry's perspective is the perspective we see in Harry Potter. In the books, we only hear things from his point of view. And as a result, everything that he does and says seems justified because we hear it from his point of view. So, for example, there are so many times when Harry gets angry at, say, like Snape or Dumbledore, and before he gets angry, Harry says, "Oh, this is like," or the narrator says, "Like this is ridiculous. This was unfair." Blah 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 blah. Gives Harry the justification for acting like a dick, and so we don't really question his actions. We don't think he might be actually acting like a dick. Whereas in fact he is incredibly hot-headed. He's very easy to wind up. He really asks for it. Like all those times when Umbridge or Snape are trying to wind him up, trying to stoke action out of him, he always snaps. He's a fucking idiot. I would concede that he's boring in the sense that he's not funny. He comes up with like 2 or 3 jokes that are actually half decent in the whole of the book series, so I'll give you that. He's boring in that respect. I suppose he's a bit of a troublemaker in some respects, I guess. He doesn't like sticking to the laws. He's curious. What about accusations he's arrogant? Snape always says he's arrogant. Is that just Snape projecting James Potter onto Harry, or is that a real thing? No, I don't think Harry is arrogant, actually. He never comes across as arrogant. He never says anything where he's bigging himself up. He's actually quite shy and modest in a lot of ways. Actually, no, he's not. Well, he's shy in the sense that he's with girls, for example, and he never really bigs himself up. But he's not shy in, going and speaking to people, going and doing stuff, being brave and all that. Always strikes me that he can be quite nimble and quick-footed. For example, when he goes to meet Slughorn, he's quite rather persuasive, in fact. But yeah, I think the thing is it's not like slap bang in your face obvious at first that like the whole of the Harry Potter series is told through Harry's eyes. I mean, it's kind of implicit, but you don't really realise that every sort of judgment and rationale is Harry's rather than the narrator's, even though it's the story is told in the third person. I think this has a lot of important consequences. Yeah, pretty much every scene in the whole book is through Harry's eyes, or Harry through Voldemort's eyes. There are, barring a couple of exceptions, notably the start of the fourth book, where we go into Frank Bryce is head, but actually no, Harry sees that as well. That is Harry's dream. Start of the sixth book is the only one. The Half-Blood Prince, where we have that fantastic chapter with the meeting of the two prime ministers. One of my favourite chapters. But actually, the only other point which happens is, I think it might be in the first, I think it's in the first book, there's a point, or maybe second, I think it's first, in the Philosopher's Stone, where, yes it is in the Philosopher's Stone, where Harry's having this Quidditch match, and Quirrell is trying to fuck him over, basically, with his wand. He's playing tricks on him, and Ron and Hermione go through the stands to sort stuff out. They think it's Snape doing it, but any case, there's this little scene where Ron and Hermione go off together, and Harry's not in the picture. And I remember listening to that and being like, something feels off here, and then clocking what it was, and it was that it's not through Harry's eyes. And this, I don't think it actually happens in the rest of all of the books. Everything is through Harry's eyes. So there you go. In short, Harry, you're a bit of a dick. You're a bit more of a dick than a superficial reading of the books would allow. Would allow, imply. Good night. About to listen to some getting really, really toasty in Goblet of Fire at the moment. Getting well into it. I'm kind of listening to it quite a lot, and it's annoying because it means I'm going to get to the Order of the Phoenix soon. It's the worst one.